Acts chapter 11. And the emissaries and brothers who were in Yehuda heard that the nations also received the word of Elohim. And when Kepha went up to Jerusalem, those of the circumcision were contending with him, saying, "You went in to uncircumcised men and ate with them." But Kepha began and set it forth in order, saying, "I was in the city of Jaffa praying. And in a trance I saw a vision, a certain vessel descending like a great sheet, let down from the heaven by four corners. And it came to me. Having looked into it, I perceived, and I saw four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping creatures, and the birds of heaven. And I heard a voice saying to me, 'Rise up, Kepha, slay and eat.' But I said, 'Not at all, Master, because whatever is common or unclean has never entered into my mouth.' And the voice answered me again from the heaven, 'What Elohim has cleansed, you do not consider common.' This took place 3 times, and all were drawn up again into the heavens. And see, immediately 3 men stood before the house where I was, having been sent to me from Caesarea. And the Spirit said to me to go with them, not doubting at all. And these 6 brothers also went with me, and we went into the man's house. And he told us how he had seen a messenger standing in his house, who said to him, 'Send men to Jaffa, and call for Shimon, who's also called Kepha, who shall speak to you words by which you shall be saved, you and all your house.' And as I began to speak, the set-apart Spirit fell upon them, as upon us at the beginning. And I remembered the word of the Master, how he said, 'Yohanan indeed immersed in water, but you shall be immersed in the set-apart Spirit.' So, if Elohim gave them the same gift as he gave us when we believed on the Master Yeshua Messiah, how was I able to withstand Elohim?" And having heard this, they were silent and praised Elohim, saying, "Then Elohim has indeed also given to the nations repentance to life." Then, indeed, they who were scattered because of the pressure that arose over Stephanos passed through to Phoenicia and Cyprus and Antioch, speaking the word to no one except the Yehudim only. But some of them were men from Cyprus and Cyrene, who, when they had come to Antioch, spoke to the Hellenists, bringing the good news, the Master Yeshua. And the hand of the Master was with them, and a great number, having believed, turned to the Master. And word of it came to the ears of the assembly in Jerusalem, and they sent out Barnabas to go as far as Antioch, who, having come, and seeing the favor of Elohim, was glad, and encouraged them all with purpose of heart to cleave to the Master, because he was a good man, and filled with a set-apart spirit and with belief. And large numbers were added to the Master. Then Barnabas went to Tarsus to seek Shaul, and having found him, he brought him to Antioch. And it came to be that for an entire year they came together in the assembly and taught large numbers. And the taught ones were called Messianists, first in Antioch. And in those days prophets came from Jerusalem to Antioch. And one of them, named Hagav, stood up and indicated by the Spirit there was going to be a great scarcity of food over all the world, which also took place under Claudius Caesar. So the taught ones, each according to his ability, decided to send relief to the brothers dwelling in Yehuda. This they also did, and they sent it to the elders by the hands of Barnabas and Shaul. chapter 12. About that time, Herodes the sovereign put forth his hands to do evil to some from the assembly, and he killed Yaakov, the brother of Johanan, with a sword. And seeing that it was pleasing to the Yehudim, he proceeded further to arrest Kepha as well. And they were the days of unleavened bread. So when he had seized him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 squads of soldiers to watch over him, intending to bring him before the people after the Pesach. So Kepha was indeed kept in prison, but prayer was earnestly made to Elohim on his behalf by the assembly. And when Herodes was about to bring him out, that night Kepha was sleeping, bound with 2 chains between 2 soldiers, and the guards before the door were keeping the prison. And see, a messenger of Yehovah stood by, and a light shone in the building, and smiting the side of Kepha, he raised him up, saying, "Get up quickly!" And his chains fell off his hands. And the messenger said to him, "Gird yourself and bind on your sandals." And he did so. And he said to him, "Put on your garment and follow me." And coming out, he followed him, and knew not that what was done by the messenger was true, but thought he was seeing a vision. And when they had passed the 1st and 2nd guard posts, they came to the iron gate that leads to the city, which opened to them by itself. And they went out, went down one street, and the messenger instantly withdrew from him. And when Kepha had come to himself, he said, "Now I truly know that Yehovah has sent his messenger and delivered me from the hands of Herodes and from all the Yehudi people were anticipating." And having realized this, he went to the house of Miriam, the mother of Johanan, who was also called Marcos, where many had gathered to pray. And when Kepha knocked at the door of the gate, a girl named Rhode came to answer. And when she recognized Kepha's voice, she did not open the gate because of her joy, but ran in and reported that Kepha stood before the gate. And they said to her, "You're mad." And she kept insisting that it was so. And they said, "It's his messenger." And Kepha continued knocking, and having opened, they saw him and were amazed. And motioning to them with his hand to be silent, he told them how the master brought him out of prison. And he said, "Report this to Yaakov and to the brothers." And he left and went to another place. Now when day came, there was no small stir among the soldiers about what had become of Kepha. And when Herodes had searched for him and did not find him, he examined the guards and ordered them to be led away. And he went down from Yehuda to Caesarea and stayed there. Now Herodes had been highly displeased with the people of Tsor and Sidon, but with one mind they came to him, and having made Blastus, the sovereign's eunuch, their friend, they were asking for peace, because their country was supplied with food by the sovereign's country. And on an appointed day, Herodes, having put on his royal clothes, sat on his throne and gave an address to them. And the people kept shouting, "The voice of a mighty one and not of a man." And instantly a messenger of Yehovah smote him, because he did not give the esteem to Elohim. And becoming worm-eaten, he died. And the word of Elohim went on growing and spreading, and Barnabas and Shaul returned from Jerusalem, having completed the service, and having taken with them Johanan, who was also called Marcos.